Hi, this is Janet Fitzgerald, and this is the layers of the self, spiritual beings, spiritual awakeness, spiritual awareness. A lot of what goes on today is people trying to fill their emptiness, trying to fill something they just can't put their finger on that's missing in their life within themselves. So we walk around, we meet people, if you're single, you'll date. If you're looking for someone to be with, even when you're in relationships with your husband, wife, partner, there's a dance that we have perfected. There's a dance to get what we want, to feel better. And when even this doesn't work, then other things come into play within ourselves. But what I want to explain to you is, and bear with me because I may say things that may piss you off, but what it is, it's not real. It's just not real. But when we make it real, and when we pull it in as real, when we say, this is mine, I am this, my life is this, this is the only way I know how to be, how to live, how to look. It's just not true. It's what you have come to accept as your reality. And reality, as I now know, can change whenever you want it to change. But first you have to accept that it can change, that you are the driver in the seat, that you are the one that will change this. And if you're listening to this, then you're already questioning it. You're already opening up to the ideas. You're already curious. And that, to me, is halfway there. And when you're halfway there, you can absorb anything and everything because it's what you want. You want change. You want to feel better. You want to learn what you're doing, what you're not doing, what other people are doing, the whys, why you're attracting this, why you're attracting that, why do you attract certain people? Why do you feel this way about your life? And just filling the emptiness, not being able to access parts of ourself causes pain. So people move quickly and try to balance the upset. Not wanting or knowing how to heal or deal with the pain may lead you to find someone else who is energetically charged towards you. So let me explain that. You know, when I was younger and you'd go out to the bars or you'd hang out, you walk into a bar, you're not attracted to every single person in the bar. And every time I say this in my talk, someone always says, not until you've had a few drinks, which could be true. But really, we're not attracted to everyone. There's a charge, there's a thing, it's called energy. It's a pull towards somebody, and you both know it. I mean, yeah, you could very well be attracted to 4 or 5 people, but it's the energy I want you to notice, to concentrate on when you meet someone. It's not her looks or his looks. It's not how he's standing or looking or being dressed. There's more to it. Now, if you're really surface and don't notice how you feel, and you're not aware in this way, then yes, it's going to be about how they look, how they're dressed, and how they stand, and all that kind of stuff. But really, it's this energy that attracts the two of you to one another. And why? Because there's a familiar energy that's going on here. A familiar energy that seeks each other out. So when you meet this person, you feel the energy from across the room, and you make your way across and you start talking to them. It could be more intense. It could die off. It could just die off. But the thing is, if it's intense and you feel like this is the person, this is it, I'm attracted to this person, then this can be a false reading as far as this is the one for you. This is the one that you want to see again and again and marry and have kids and this is your soulmate. Well, that's not necessarily true either. Right now, you're just energetically charged towards each other. And some people do it, meet and get over it and don't do it again because now not around that person, the energy dissipates. Sometimes when you meet someone and the energy doesn't dissipate and all you have to do is think about them, then that energy is deeper, and it's two people that have come together to work something out here in this life, which to me means that you've come to learn something about yourself, and that person is here to teach you, and vice versa. Doesn't look like that right away. It looks great, doesn't it? Feed each other grapes, gaze into each other's eyes, long lingering dinners and walks and long phone calls and I miss yous and I love yous and months of this. And then it starts to die off a little bit and relax and becomes a relationship, and then other things start to come in. So we're not going to go there because this is about filling up your emptiness. So because it filled you up so much for so long, and now it's starting to even out, and now it's starting to become, kind of what's next. And remember, this is not a conscious thought. Sometimes it is. Most of the time, it is not. But there are little things that go off in us when we are aware. We can feel it in our gut, is this it? Is this all there is? But because we've invested so much time and we've spent so much money and we've spent our dreams and on our long talks and our intimacy and our intimate part of ourselves, this all becomes part of the story. So now we've created this together. We have to keep moving forward. It's just the way we've been taught, that now we start talking about the next level that we're going to move in together, get engaged, whatever it is. And so you see, every time something has filled you up, and then it becomes the norm and the excitement, or it's subsided and it's calmed down, it's become life. We start looking for the next thing. Okay, we're engaged. Let's plan the wedding. Take months for the wedding, or a year, however long you take, and then that's exciting, and that takes up a lot of time, and then you get married, and then you move in together, and you're looking for the house, and that's the next big thing, and that's exciting, and then you live together, and then life, and it's life. Then you start looking around and you start feeling, and remember, I'm not saying this is for everyone, but this is for most. And gotta find that next thing. What's that next thing? What's that next thing that we're going to do to fill me up? I need something to fill me up. So it could be, if you have money, it'll be traveling. It'll be the social circles. It'll be buying the next new thing, the next big thing, the next big electronic, the next. And then, then maybe it's children. Have a baby. Have another. It's the planning. It's the looking forward to. It's the next level. It's the next thing. And from what I've seen, so many people, they just keep doing it until, were you ever really, really happy in anything you did? Or was it the next event and the next event and the next event that filled you up long enough to sustain this relationship, this way of being in your life? And this is what we have to ask ourselves. There's so many people that I know that end up getting divorced. This is not what I thought it would be. This is hard work, or This is not making me feel good anymore. I need something to make me feel good. So they'll either have an affair, or they'll leave their partner, or they'll work and find something else that is meaningful for them in their work, and they'll work and work and work. Whatever it is. And this is the society, this is the life that we have created. The good news is so many people are waking up and wanting more. And the more discomfort you feel in your life right now, right this moment, this is good news, because that means something is shifting in you, and that means that you are ready to move. It means you're ready to move out of these things that we call life, filling us up and making us happy. So many people will turn to drugs, gambling, alcohol, and anything just to feel some excitement. Even the rise in people who love the horror movies, the absolute horrible, invasive ghost movies, the violent movies. This is what they're about. The masses, what we see on the screen of what the masses of energy is putting forth of what they want. They're showing people what they want to watch. And the reason why they want to watch these things is because it makes them feel something. It can be excitement, it can be fear, it can be terror, it can be whatever it is, but it's making us feel something. So many people have become numb because they don't know what they really want. And here's the thing, it's not that you don't know what you want, I don't believe. I think it's that being okay, we've been taught, mediocre life, not good. Hanging around doing nothing, not good. You always have to be striving. You always have to get your kids starting to read and get them on the tablets when they're little, watching everything educational, getting them to the next level, getting them into college, thinking of college before they're even in 6th grade. This is what we're doing. And we're creating another generation of this. And really, what you're going to find out is the simplest life. It's just, I'm not saying you can't have loads of money and travel, and that's just a result of what you do. But who you are and how you live are those moments that you touch someone's heart, that you help someone out, that you have a kind word for someone, that you just are living in your own comfortable skin, that you are comfortable with who you are. You love yourself, therefore you can love others. You're not pretending that everything is okay at home. You're not pretending that your kids are okay. You're not pretending that your life is great, but that you really, really just, you can sit and be okay with just sitting. Instead of feeling like you have to be up and volunteering and going here and going there and being a part of this and a part of that. When we do things, we must know that we need to do it from our hearts and because we thoroughly enjoy doing them. And what we give then is just tremendous amounts of heartfelt consideration towards other people. And also, we get filled up. The drugs, the alcohol, the gambling, the shopping, the next house, the new car, the next technology gadget, the next promotion, the whatever it is, it's never gonna fill you up. It will temporarily, and then it fades. So, we really need to find this within ourselves. We can't make someone else make us happy, because that will never ever happen, because that's absolutely impossible and absurd. To find someone and say that you need to make me happy, you're responsible for making me happy, that's the most absurd thing that we have ever been taught. I know, because I've been on that end and I've also been on the other end. I've been wanting people to make me happy, and I've had people who want me to make them happy. And either way does not work, and it will never work, because happiness is not something you go find. It's something that resides within us. And when we find that happiness within us, which is like a child, that childlike part of ourselves, that's the happiness. Where it's just fun to roll down a hill, where it's fun to jump in puddles, where it's fun to listen to loud music and dance, where it's fun to go for a run, a bike ride, whatever it is, all these things that we don't even entertain anymore. We sit in our houses and we don't think about movement of our body related to happiness, because movement does, our bodies want to move. So we have to get in touch with ourselves. The part of us that no longer needs unsatisfying or artificial things to make us happy. That we don't look for other people to latch on to, grab hold of, or for some people, suck the life out of, so that we can be happy. We need to get in touch with that part of ourself that used to, at some point, and I bet you there is a point that you can go back to, that you can find where you were thoroughly happy. And I don't care if it was when you were 3, 4, or 5 years old, or when you were a teenager, or a young adult, or last year, or yesterday. There is a time that you have locked in and loaded and set within yourself of happiness, so you can find it again. It's not elusive. It's just you just have to know that it's within you, and that it's still there, and that you know exactly where it is and what it is. And know that everything that we've been taught about what we need to be happy is false. And that caretaking and looking after other people and doing all the things, all the shoulds I'm talking about, not the heartfelt things, the things that we should do, they're not fulfilling for us or for the person we're doing it for, because they feel the energy of which you're doing it with. Why do you think so many people look after their elderly parents? And all I hear when I walk through the grocery store or any store, and there's a daughter talking disgustingly to her mother or father, just stand there and wait, just be there, just sit down and I'll just go do it myself, and will you hurry up? And talking to them like with no patience and no love. And it's because they feel, it's not that they're mean, it's not that any of that, it's because they feel that this is what they're supposed to do. And when we do things that we feel we're supposed to do, we get bitter. And then we get angry, and then we take it out on those people. Anyone, it's not just, elderly parents, it's anyone that makes us feel like we should do this. And on another note, no one ever makes you feel like anything, because these are things that are within yourself that you still have to look at, which you need to heal, which can set you free, and so that you do not look to others to fulfill you up and make you feel better. You'll know when you start getting back in touch with your power, because you are willing to give back. You're willing to set people free by forgiving them, by just understanding that they're struggling no less than you are. They're trying to get by. Some people do it better than others, but some people are just bitter because they're angry, because they don't feel loved or considered or significant to anyone. But when you start doing this, when you can start forgiving and giving back and loving from that deep part of yourself instead of the shoulds, and energy is created within you that is transferred to them, that is like a deep breath, a letting go, an easing feeling that goes on. And then that happens to them. And then they feel, and then they turn around and they do it for someone else. They forgive, they let go, and so on. You know that saying, the pebble in the pond? This is what it looks like. Someone has to start it. Someone. And when we do start it, and I've seen it in my own life, and you don't give up. You just give, because you know that person just needs a little bit of kindness. Not because you want accolades for it, not because you think you should, but just because you see their heart and you know one kind word is going to help them. And then they go and give one kind word to someone. And this is how we pass it on. And as you do this, we are all part of the same oneness. We are all a unity of purpose. So one can't happen without the other. You start it, you will help everyone, you will help yourself. And this is how we start to change the world. One heart at a time. Forgiveness doesn't mean you condone. It just means you're freeing yourself. I could talk for hours on this subject. But for now, just sit for a few minutes and look at yourself, no one else, and just feel how you feel about your life, about others that are in your life. Think about each one at a time, and see if you can feel your heart. You'll feel it go swell as you love them, and not so sure. You'll feel like a whew, when you're not quite sure. And then you ask yourself, what have I done for any one of these people, and why do I do it? The idea is to do what feels good. The idea is to feel good about yourself and what you're doing. The idea is to feel good about where you are in your life. And if there are things that are not working, if there are things that people in your life that do not compliment you, it's not about them. It is about how you see them and how they reflect back at you about who you are. So just sit with that. There's a meditation on my Facebook page, Janet Fitzgerald /intuitive, and it's a memory meditation, which it will take you back to moments in time that you can reclaim or empower yourself. And what this does is it changes how you feel, what you've been taught. And it will explain exactly how that gets done in that meditation at the beginning. But this is about changing our inner structure, our inner, what we've been taught. And when we can change that, then we can change our environment, our home life, our community, and spread it and spread it and spread it. And this is what it's all about. That's life. It's not the big next conquered thing or the next new thing. Those things are great and we're allowed to have all that, but they're supposed to be playful. They're supposed to be things that we can just have for fun and manifest for fun. It's not that's what we're working for or towards. There's nothing to work towards. Nothing. There is nothing. This is the moment we have right here is the only moment we have. The past doesn't exist and the future hasn't even started yet, hasn't even manifested yet. So I don't know where everybody thinks they're going or that happiness is at the end of this rainbow. But, there has to be a rainbow to be walking along on to get to the end of the rainbow. A rainbow just doesn't appear and say, here you go. So with that, take a few moments. Sit and reflect. But this is the work. All the work is just to sit, think, reflect, see how you're feeling. And do what feels good, because that's what matters. When you feel good, others feel good. We pass it on, and that is magic. And we need that magic on this earth today more than ever. Less angry people, more people who are looking for that breath of life that's within them. And then that transmutes outside of them, to your children, to your partners, to everyone around you. Give it some thought. I only share what I have learned and what's worked for me, and I hope it works for you too. Thank you. Good night.